Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another fragrance review. Marvellous. I was right, my friends. Once again, I am back with another fragrance review. And the fragrance we are reviewing today is Yatagan, Vintage Yatagan, by Caron. This review will follow my tried and trusty technique of telling you the notes, telling you which notes I get, and then just discussing the fragrance until I'm satisfied that I have discussed it. Okay, so the perfume was released in 1978, and it was made by someone called Vincent Marcello. Never heard of him. What else have you done, sir? He did Halston Z14. It's a pretty good perfume. And he did something called Private Collection by Estee Lauder. Do you know what it is? If you're going to make 3 perfumes, right? Not bad. Not fucking bad at all. You know? The notes. The notes are lavender, mint, galbanum, pine, basil, patchouli, oak moss, oak, artemisia, incense, castoreum, and musk. Okay, so the notes I get are pine, galbanum, artemisia, oak moss, castoreum. Shout out to the mint though, because on first blast, right, I really get an absolutely beautiful dry mint, like this mint green, slightly herbal, dry introduction. The first thing you smell for me is a minty dryness, and then the mint kind of dies off quite quickly, which is why I didn't include it in the notes that I get the most. After that, you're left with the dry green aspect of pine, like pine needles, pine tree, not resinous, quite dry, quite green, galbanum as well, very vintage masculine kind of things. I wore French Lover this week, and that kind of dry, austere greenness is definitely there in this fragrance. That's just the opening. It's at this point that you begin to get some like kind of peppery sort of vibe. I get something extremely dry and peppery from this. Now, I think that comes from what is like the bridge between the top and the mid, because in the mid there is artemisia and there is oak moss, and they're both green, very green as well, and they're both dry too. But artemisia can be quite bitter sometimes. Like it gives off like an absinthe kind of vibe, and I think combining pine, artemisia, basil, oak moss, it gives it this kind of bitter green sort of thing, to the point where it's actually quite brittle, and that gives me a peppery vibe, and it makes me sneeze. This fragrance genuinely makes me sneeze. I get like an involuntary sneezing reaction to it, A galbanum, pine, oak moss, artemisia cohort sticks around for most, if not all, of the fragrance. You get a lot of woody, incensey vibes from it as well. It's like a dark wood, So the oak note, the oak projection, it kind of projects oak. What do I mean by that is I don't mean that it like the fragrance throws and projects. I mean like it gives off this kind of dark wood signal without it actually smelling of oak. It's like a suggestion. You know what I mean? It's like the power of suggestion. If somebody told you, oh, it's got like this fragrance, it's got oak in it, you would go, oh yeah, because it's like dark and woody. But I don't think it's the type of fragrance where you would instantly just go, that smells like oak. It's not like rose, you know? It's not like, excuse me whilst I hydrate, it's not like a lavender or that kind of thing where you instantly smell it and you know that's what it smells like, oak. It's woody, but it's a very particular kind of wood, and it's dark, and it gives off that in a lot in the mid, but a live oak, not chopped down. You know, it smells like a live oak, so it's kind of like a fantasy note. I wish I just said that in the first place. The Artemisia in here is very pronounced and does a lot of the work, does a lot of heavy lifting in the mid there. You know, getting down into the base, the fragrance becomes much more of like a homogenized green sort of thing. You'll get different aspects of the green. The oak moss, the Artemisia is probably the most pronounced. The pine's still there. Maybe a bit of patchouli, but then you're left with this very oily castoreum leather base. Again, it goes from being dry to slightly oily. It's a wonderful trick, and it's amazing, and it's very interesting. And the modern formulations of this are still really good. This is the vintage one, obviously. I prefer vintage versions of fragrances, so obviously I'm going to say I think this one's better. The performance is massive, and I really enjoy it. But as you will have known, I don't wear this, so decided to sell it, and it has gone. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will see you all again soon.